for all the marbles. Of the Cascade Collegiate Conference. The 28-2 College of Idaho Yotes, the number 1 seed, the number 1 Oregon in favor of the Owls. Coach Erickson. And this is going to be a two of the top scoring teams in the conference and two teams that like to get up and down the floor. Yeah, I don't think the top who's one physical team. I think we're going to do it all with this team. Up and down placement, some physicality, a lot of shot making. I'm excited. The two words that describe Oregon Tech are tough and transition. They like to get up and down already. See a first offensive possession from the Yotes. That's going to be one to watch right there. Roger gives them a lot of trouble up at Palmer. They did a much better job here, but it was very different. Pretty much all season for the Yotes. Sanaje put up 27 on the road at Oregon Tech. Just a 3-point win, 78-75. One of the closest affairs in a win that U of I had this season. A couple of misses to start out for Oregon Tech. Sam Osborne leads them just under 15 points per game. Morgan from the top of the key. Doing everything else back. Kicks back out. Robinette.
Yeah, that'll be the turning point in this game if you see the Yotes go man-to-man because they can't contain this offense. Yeah, really aggressive start to him. It's gonna be hard to zone them. No surprise, Coach Parnell has them ready to go. He knows they put teams away early in the first half, so they're ready.
Oregon
think that was a good call. I think he picked that one up.
Just a little too early on that first. In 2 games against Oregon Tech during conference play, it was 2 very different offenses that you saw from the Yotes. In the first one, they had just 9 of 6 on 21 field goals, not near what they usually do. In the 3. In the second matchup where they blew out Oregon Tech, they had 16 assists and just 6 turnovers. Wyman, in response, can't hit. Bowman brings down the rebound and hits Jake O'Neal, and they call O'Neal for the foul. Over the last 4 games, Yotes are averaging about 5.5 turnovers per game. Anytime you can keep it below 10, you're in business, and they've kept it below 6. I was going to say Jackson Cooper into the game as well as Jay Elmore, Cody Allen, Guerra, and Wilson will not get many reps. Elmore on the 3, Bowman on the offensive board, threw it off the foot of Stratton Rogers, and Kobe Blaine is already getting into his second unit.
This is all part of that rebounding battle between these 2 teams. Really interesting. They both rebound well on both ends. I'm curious to see who can come out on top there.
I just love watching when Stratton Rogers enters the game, not only with the pink shoes, but so active. He's coming down from the top spot of the 2-3 zone to pull down that ball.
He's great coming off the bench because they really always just keep going.
Oregon Tech has had some similar outscoring from their bench. 35 and 37 bench points in the last 2 games in order to make their way to this championship game in Caldwell, Idaho. Guerra gets past one, kicks out to the corner, out of bounds, and that brings us to our first media timeout. As Coach Erickson mentioned, uncharacteristic start. Oregon Tech out to a 12-9 lead. We'll take a break and be right back.
I saw that. After I guess that OIT Bucknell game, OIT wanted to have another interesting one under their belt before coming down here to Caldwell.
Frazier thinking about it, finally pulls the trigger, just rims out. Caden Andren is called to the foul on the inside against Jackson Cooper. Somehow the official saw Andren on the hook. And typically you think that the officials give the benefit of the doubt to the defensive player boxing out.
Wow, those ones are so hard to officiate. You know somebody's holding somebody, but you can't really tell who's the one at fault.
Second unit in for the Yotes. Andren at the point. Dougie People, a talented shot-making freshman, goes up to the top right. Andren down the offensive board. People re-fires. Another offensive board. Stratton Rogers, the post up, kicks out German. The 7-footer, Paul Wilson.
It's just been a fun lineup to watch all year. You have Peoples out there with Germer, and they're pretty much looking to shoot anyway. They're looking to clean up as much as they can.
Wilson finally able to clean up the mess on the inside. That is a single offensive possession
Kicked out. Elmore. Andrew follows the ball. Kicks it right at the middle.
Got your work cut out and then go with that starting 5 unit.
He's posting up inside, kicks it out to Hansen. Intense on ball. And the pressure to get more offensive 3-point. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He's got to go. Gets into the lane. That is just such a dangerous play. Rogers does such a good job. Run on the offensive block by Rogers. He does it so well. Moving around the ball in the hands of Aiden Hansen. Really coming into his own. Playing on the reigning championship team, rolling out one player, so he is filling his own spot, and he has done such a good job of filling that role and understanding and learning that role.
It's really been impressive watching him come along, just his confidence as a shooter, but also putting the ball on the floor. He's really showing that scoring versatility that he showed all throughout his career.
Rogers with the layup on one of his best games of the season in the semifinals against Southern Oregon. 11 points, 9 rebounds, 5 of them on the offensive glass. We've already seen a couple of them so far. Here from the contest inside, just getting it up and over the top of Jackson Cooper.
Those are the shots. The Owls have got to hit those at a pretty decent clip to win this game. And so it's good for them to see them go in.
And while these two teams like to play fast and get out and run, this game on the scoreboard could be played within a shoebox. There's just not going to be a whole lot of difference either way, and they do both these teams do such a good job of responding to that.
Both teams are well prepared for this game.
Just past halfway through the first half, 18-16 lead for the Yotes. On a 23-game win streak, they've won 21 straight in this conference tournament and 11 straight postseason games. O'Neal long on the 3. A foul is called.
In my opinion, I didn't see which way the cut player it was, but he was doing a good job of boxing out, lost his balance. There's nothing to be called there, just let the players play on. hits that baseline better than anyone I've seen all year. A lot of times it's him rising up for a dunk, but even there, he just does so well. That's a freshman. That's impressive. And after the turnover to respond that way.
If I could put together two possessions of three in the evening of 50 year college, it's those two back-to-back. He shot the trick first, and then directly on the other end, he goes back door. He has the presence of mind, knows that two defenders are coming to him, doesn't stop, waits for it, puts it up, and
100%. Not to mention that 50-year strength. Great possession.
Inside, Blake Jensen off the dump down from Eric Frazier. Frazier on the other end up floor, empowering his bench to provide some energy. And then another factor in these playoffs that goes unsaid a lot is these road teams, because these are campus site games. These are not neutral sites. So obviously the Yotes have the advantage here. Oregon Tech has to bring their own energy.
Right, and Oregon Tech went up to Lewiston and took their business up there, so they know what it takes to win on the road, and they know it's not providing energy for themselves.
He's up to double digits percent. Kick back, Wyman, pump fake, spin move, back to the middle. Just had to throw it up, hoping he would get out. Picks it up ahead to Osborne, barely able to keep it inbound. Finds Frazier for the quick fire three. This is the energy.
You talked about it, both teams are going to go on runs, and there's the Oregon Tech run that went to that college of Idaho run. Osborne showing amazing.
26, 22, 731, less than the first half.
Back here in Albertson Activities Center. Yotes out to a 26 deficit. The Owls have gone on a little run of their own here. Trying to go into contact. 1 second. They can't get it off. A shot clock violation. Quick little equipment. The audio got a little better for you. New headset. Although we did lose. Kyle Erickson at the moment will try to reassess during the halftime break. For the remaining 6:45, you'll have me, Eric Frazier, on the back row. What a find by Cody Bowman. Bradford sidestep, 3 ball. Still can't hit. Yotes have been searching from deep recently, just haven't quite found one to go down, and they're looking for something to start off a little barrage. Oh man, Keegan shivers. He can stroke it too. 31-22. This is a major run by Oregon Tech, who is playing with so much focus, so much intensity, and they have a ton of confidence on their side. Timeout called by Colby Blaine and the College of Idaho staff as they try to figure out what is and isn't working. And the unit, the 5 on the floor that went on the run just before Oregon Tech went on this one was that second unit. So they platoon swap to put them back into the game. That's Caden Handren at the point, Peoples and Shermer, Stratton Rogers, and Paul Wilson. Paul Wilson. Score. Stratton Rogers on a post-up, worked the first time out. They'll go to him. He'll back down Shivers. Stratton lowers the shoulder, goes with the right, missed it, tried to follow his own. Guerra out in transition across the timeline. Into the corner. Guerra now, certainly more of a pass-first guy, kicks it to Bowman at the elbow. Quick double, forces the ball out of his hands. Caden Handren slipped through the passing lane. Handren fights off one, fouls on the floor. And Handren won't have free throws as it was before the shot, so a baseline out of bounds. But a great adjustment to double the post as soon as that entry pass was made to Cody Bowman. Great read by Dougie Peoples. Got to get the ball in, got to go finally find Germer. Germer has the mismatch, spinning, tried to find it inside to Wilson, kick back out. Rogers will slow it down. Handren over the top. Germer, contested three, just long. Shivers pulls down the rebound. Shivers been really solid this year. Seven doubles on the year in rebounds per game in the conference. 1-3-1. Different look on the defensive side of things for C of I. With Paul Wilson in the middle, they love seeing it. A timeout is called by Keegan Shivers deep in the corner as he had nowhere to go and no dribble. Just a 30-second. Crowd is not happy with the 3 timeouts called in the last 2.5 minutes. 5 minutes remain in this first half. And the Oregon Tech Owls still on top, 31-22. So we talked about physicality on both sides of things, and College of Idaho is going to have to win the rebound battle. They're currently winning the rebound battle 14-11. They've already got 6 offensive rebounds, but they have turned the ball over 5 times in this first half. You heard Kyle Erickson earlier this half say that uncharacteristic, to say the least, for the Yotes to have so many turnovers and just provide that many opportunities for the opponent. Elmore knocks in the 3 from the corner, and the Owls are up 12. Germer left wide open. Can't answer. Yotes are shooting just 2 for 10 from 3. Shooting just under 40% from 3 as a team on the season. Poked away by Stratton Rogers. They find Germer in transition again. Gets past 2, into the lane. Jump stop and a finish. He might be a sharp shooter from downtown, but at 6'8", he can still use the body. Back within 10. Cam Osborne. Down low to Bowman, searching, kicks it out Shivers. Up in the air. That's why they tell you to not leave your feet when you're making a pass. No jump passes. Turnover for Oregon Tech. Jake O'Neal drew Wyman into the game, and with O'Neal, Wyman, and Rogers, and Wilson in the game, talk about a team that will just get rebounds. In the remaining 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes, try to keep track of how many offensive rebounds the Yotes can get. With this 5 on the floor, you never know. Rogers didn't see the double team. Guerra, the steal. Pushing tempo. Kicks down to Bowman. Bowman traveled. Colby Blaine working hard to provide his team with some energy. Calls out the play from the sideline. Handren in turn takes a double screen at the top of the key. Kicks into the corner, Wyman. Wilson on the post up. barely able to save it and then throws it off of the leg of Cody Bowman. Heady play by the 7-footer. They should be able to attack that high-low, or at least over the top, try to get the big to seal on the inside, because Oregon Tech is not doing a whole lot of weak side help, trying to keep some shooters or defenders on the shooter's weak side. Robinette, short corner, 6 seconds. Kicks to Wyman, top of the key. Step back, pump fake. Handren has to let it fly. Oh, he hits! Handren, a reluctant three-point shooter, but when he has to, he can still hit it. Jackson Cooper on the inside, back to the basket, tipped up. Robinette ends up in the hands of Samaje Morgan. Handren leaks out, Euros, throws it up, got fouled. They're going to call on Keegan Shivers, who got in the way of Caden Handren, and he'll have, oh, they called that on the floor. They called that on the floor. Handren was arguing the call. Johnny Radford will check in for him, put the original starting 5 back in the game. Shivers takes a seat after picking up his second personal. Can't afford him to miss any additional time. Finally get it into Radford. Pulls up from the baseline. No. Guerra. 3 ball just off from Osborne. Back cut, Radford. Oh, too strong on the layup attempt. Crowd wanted a foul, but I think he just lost the handle on the way up. Inside of 2 minutes, this is an incredibly important couple of minutes. Elmore just off. Cooper, the offensive board, fouled by Radford on the putback. The Yotes have trailed at halftime in just 4 of their 30 games this season. 2-for-2 trip for Cooper Jackson. Morgan on the drive, takes contact, no foul. His put back up and in. Student section starting to fill up, starting to get into it. Guerra gets past 2, dump down, layup is good. Wyman tried to foul him hard, but it wasn't hard enough as Blake Jensen takes the and one. Jensen can't convert. O'Neal the rebound. Morgan will slow down for a moment. Allow his men to get down on the half court. Robinette trying to post up. There was weak side help. Morgan goes into the double team. Punt fake. Throws it up. Got fouled. Goes against Blake Jensen. Jensen, who did not play a whole lot of minutes the first time these teams saw each other. Just 16 minutes and 2 points. Had to miss a game after that. Morgan rolls the first one in. And if you're the Yotes, you just absolutely cannot let this be a double-digit deficit going into the halftime locker room. You're going to have to get a stop. You're going to have to get a score. 7 points the lead for the 3 seed Oregon Tech Owls, trying to take off a College of Idaho team who has not lost a conference tournament game in 5 years. Osborne inside, his floater just rolls out. O'Neal the board, pushing tempo. Dump down to Germer. Germer takes contact, count the foul. No bucket, but we'll have 2 at the free throw line. Germer doesn't shoot many free throws. This will be just his 26th and 27th on the whole season, shooting right at 72%. Caden Handren will close out the first half. A little defense for offense. Getting Handren in the game for Johnny Radford. Expect the same for Rogers to come in for Germer upon the make. Shot clock turned off, but the Yotes are going to provide a little pressure. They want to try to get one more look at this. Down by 6 at the moment. Guerra takes his time getting it across half court. Head coach Justin Parnell telling his team to take their time. Start to go at 12. Shivers, Elmore. Osborne takes the screen from Jensen on the wrong side, double teamed. Elmore has it way beyond the three-point line. Osborne chucks one up, way long. No offensive rebound. And the Oregon Tech Owls will take a 38-32 point lead into the half. Just the 5th time this season that the Yotes have trailed going into the halftime locker room. We'll be back in a bit. You'll hear from Danny Campbell, SID of College of Idaho, and the conference commissioner in an interview. Stick around. Well, the second half is about to get underway. Talia Lundquist back with you here in the J.A. Albertson Activities Center. It is an uncharacteristic start for the College of Idaho Yotes. They are the number 1 seed, the number 3 team in the country, and they are seeing the 3 seed Oregon Tech Owls. Oregon Tech has been on an absolute heater. Last couple of games that they won to get here in the quarterfinals and the semifinals against Bushnell. They put up 96 in what was a 3-point win. They had 6 different players with double-figure points. They also hit 35 out of 44 free throws. And then in the semifinals, they led by 19 at half, held on to a 2-point win over the LC State Warriors. Yotes have only trailed in now 5 games this entire season. Same as the starting 5 to start the second half. Wyman opens up, kicks to Radford, wants to dribble handoff, denies it to O'Neal, then steps back from the 3-point line, air ball, tracked down by Jensen, saves it inbounds to Frazier, up ahead to Guerra. Just looking at how these teams shot the ball, the second time this season that the Yotes saw the Owls in this building. They hit 10 first half threes. They were just 3 of 11 from beyond the arc, and with that last miss, they're 3 for 12 in the game. Guerra on the inside hits the little fall away from the mid-range, brings it up to an 8-point lead for Oregon Tech. Radford gets bumped along the baseline by Osborne, and a quick foul is called. There was a lot of contact that went uncalled in that first half, and I'm sure the official talked about that during the intermission. Wyman, pull-up three. Still no. Robinette, the offensive board, goes over the top of Jensen to get it to fall. 3 of 13 from the three-point line are the Yotes. Drew Wyman, who in the first game against Oregon Tech, or rather that was the second game against them, had 23 points. It was 7 for 8 from the three-point line. No call on Guerra's step back. Morgan skies high for the defensive board over Shivers. Radford, corner three, bang. Needed that. Back down by 3, just like that. Cannot keep this team down, and it's all based on rebounding. In the first half, they did have the rebounding battle, 121-15 on the inside. Foul is called. Count the bucket. Osborne starting to feel it. He's got 12 points tonight. Yotes had 9 second chance points in the first half. They already have 2 more from Robinette here in this period. Osborne converts the old-fashioned three-point play. Back up by 6 go the Owls. Osborne leading all scorers with his 13. Radford wants another one. And they're starting to fall in love with it. They are getting away from what they do so well, which is getting the ball inside and working inside out. Frazier, contested 3, one-arm rebound by Robinette. Morgan, leaner, offensive board, O'Neal. Kicks back out, Morgan. One-on-one. Lost it as he was trying to pass it and then didn't want to travel by collecting it. Colby Blaine is very upset, to say the least. And then another turnover by Oregon Tech. Kicked out ahead. Deep outlet to Radford. Swings it around to Wyman. Lines up a 3-ball, rattles out. Blaine talking to his sophomore guard, Samaje Morgan, who has been such a leader for this team. Trying to get him to play within himself. Osborne off the front iron. Frazier last to touch it as it goes out of bounds. Cody Bowman will check back in. How about this for a stat? In the first half, Oregon Tech had 14 assists on 15 field goals. Talk about sharing the ball and being in the flow of your offense. Morgan gets past one and then lost the handle. It just feels like he's playing a little too fast right now. (43-37).
Place moving. Almost another steal. Picks it right back up. Takes it mid-range. But man, what a run. Get it back into this thing. We apologize for all the difficulties with taking it out, sticking it out with us. If you're rejoining us, it was a 6
It was a 6-point lead at the half for Oregon Tech, the 3 seed over the 1 seed. The Yotes came out firing. They're tied 48-48. We'll take a break. Actually, no, let's stay here. Let's give you a little rundown of what we've seen so far. The first half was filled with contact that went unchecked. So far here in this second half, the officials did a lot of consulting at halftime and said, we can't let this get chippy. These two teams are the toughest in the conference. We cannot allow this to get out of our hands. But let's put it into the hands of the man at half court for $1,000. Oh, it looked good. It had the distance and just offline. What has been working for Oregon Tech is just taking advantage of all the missteps by College of Idaho. Uncharacteristic for them to have as many turnovers in this game as well. On the other side of things, the Yotes are starting to force a lot more turnovers. College of Idaho had 6 first half turnovers. They have 8 in the game. Oregon Tech had 3 first half turnovers. They already have 6 in the first 6.5 minutes of this second half. Cam Osborne leads all scorers with 13. Right behind him, Jake O'Neal with 11. He's 5 for 6 from the field. Has 5 rebounds to go with it. Samaje Morgan, his 10 points as well. Morgan swings it around. Robinette in the corner, back up to Morgan. Has a matchup he likes. Attacks Frazier. Gets past. Count the bucket. And the foul. So quick. Samaje Morgan doing it once again. And now another timeout is called for Oregon Tech. This time we'll take a break and we'll be back. Yotes up 50-48, 13:07 to go. Coming to the timeout, Samaje Morgan will have a chance to convert the and one and bring his total up to 13 if he can hit the free throw. Smart timeout by Oregon Tech. They're trying to take as much air and energy out of this gym as they can, and as an opposing team on the road, you kind of have to, especially this place gets absolutely rocking. 13 minutes on the clock left in the second half, 51-48. The lead for the College of Idaho Yotes, the number 3 team in the country and the number 1 seed in the conference. Guerra on the inside, good footwork and body control to finish the reverse. Bradford, right corner. Swings it all the way around. Robinette missed Bradford. He was open for a good second, and Robinette was late to realize it and frustrated with himself. Have not seen the second unit for the Yotes this entire second half so far. They're just letting the starters go out there, and as I say it, Wilson, Rogers, and Handren go to the scorers table to check in at the next whistle. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Oregon Tech. Shivers finds Bowman at the high post, wants to go one-on-one against Robinette. A good jab step and a floater. Back up by one go the Owls. And after that quick run to start this half for the Yotes, it is back to a 0-0 ball game just about, and you got to win the rest of the way. O'Neal, reverse pivot, kicks out. Morgan from three, back iron, pulled down Shivers. Oregon Tech doing a much better job of keeping the Yotes off of the offensive glass so far this half. Shivers, back iron, off the glass and down. Shivers is up to 10. Wyman has the mismatch inside on Osborne, tries to attack it, had a tough angle. O'Neal skied in, got a hand on it, and then it was last touched by one of the Owls along the baseline. (51-54), Oregon Tech ahead by 3. 11:15 left on the game clock. Handren backing down Guerra. Kicks back out, finds Peoples left wing. Bottoms! Boy, did he need that one. We're tied at 54. Peoples has been searching this entire game. Finally gets one to fall. The Yotes fall back into their 1-3-1 zone. Colby Blaine waving his hands above his head. Backdoor cut once again. Eric Frazier has been absolutely lethal on backdoor cuts against that 1-3-1. Tearing him apart from the back line. Wilson, a post-up. Kicks out Handren on the drive. A block is called underneath. They're going to go against Eric Frazier there. Handren wasn't even looking to score. He's always looking to pass primarily. That is the 6th team foul of the half already against Oregon Tech, a team that prides themselves on their toughness, but certainly struggling to stay out of foul trouble. That has been the case for the majority of the year, as they do not have the luxury of depth that the Yotes do. Peoples, guarded by Jackson. Not a whole lot of north and south dribbling, a lot of east and west from the freshman. Handren posting up inside, liked his matchup. Wilson, the offensive board, puts it right back up and in. High post, Cooper Jackson. Wow, he has made a living from the inside. He's got 11 points in that little drop step to the middle of the key and the baby hook, a little shot put floater. So good. 9:45 left on the game clock. Peoples on the drive, partially deflected by Elmore. Shivers. High post, Bowman. Wants to go at Wilson. Looking. Going into his body. Lost the step. Finds its way to Elmore. Has to kick back out Shivers. Sidestep 3 ball. Misses right. Rebound finally pulled down by Handren. Owls up by 2. 58-56. Swings it around. Peoples left wing. Handren is loving this mismatch with Guerra. He wants to post up every possession down. Peoples, retreat dribbles to the right wing, then fires off a 3-ball and cans it! Dougie Peoples, he hit a 3 to tie him up. He just hit his second 3 of the game to put him back up by 1. 8.5 minutes on the game clock. Handren pokes it away. Last touched by Handren. Oregon Tech talking some talk to the freshman Cooper Jackson. a narrow 1-point lead for the Yotes, and for the rest of this one, we expect to see it go back and forth, back and forth. Deep outlet, Jensen finds Osborne, can't leave him open for a moment. Peoples takes contact and is then called for a block. I think that is the right call to disagree with the fandom of the Yotes. Peoples was shuffling his feet as Osborne went into the air, and Peoples took the contact at that point, and certainly the right call to go with a block. 15 seconds on the shot clock after a fresh 20 thrown on for the Owls. Guerra splits two defenders, falls away from about 10 feet, just misses. It was off of the head of Stratton Rogers, and they got that one right. Not trying to play devil's advocate here. Unbiased broadcaster. The refs have made 2 consecutive correct calls. Dump down, Jensen, flush. Just cannot give that up on a baseline out of bounds. The Oregon Tech Owls have 5 losses coming into this game. 2 to College of Idaho, 2 to Lewis Clark State, and 1 to Grace. Handren hits it from the baseline, puts them back up by 1. If you look at those losses, Oregon Tech has 2 of their 5 losses to the number 3 team in the country in the College of Idaho Yotes. They have 1 loss to the number 1 team in the nation in Grace. And they have their other 2 losses to Lewis Clark State, who they avenged by beating in the semifinals to get to this point. The old adage of it is hard to beat a good team twice. It is hard to beat a good team 3 times, and that is the task at hand for the Yotes. Clearly, Oregon Tech has proved that 2 losses is enough to suffer to any team, as they were able to avenge their loss to LC State. And they have shown up to play here in Caldwell, Idaho. Bench points has been spectacular the last couple of games out for Oregon Tech. They had 37 bench points against Bushnell, 35 against LC State, and they've already gotten 11 from Cooper Jackson, who has been a surprise on the inside. He has the ball in his hands, finds the point guard, Jamison Guerra. They go right back to Jackson, baseline backdoor cut for Osborne. Osborne pulls up from the mid-range, back iron, brought down by Paul Wilson. Poked away by Cooper Jackson, and they'll get him with a foul. That's the 7th-team foul. 1-1 upcoming for Paul Wilson, and the Yotes are in the bonus for the remaining 7 minutes and 19 seconds. Wilson good on the first. He's got 5 points. And knocks them both in. Had a couple of airball free throws in the semifinals against Southern Oregon, but those 2 look pretty clean. 2-3 zone. Osborne left alone, still too much space. Tipped out by Jensen. Finds its way to Shivers. His floater too strong. Rogers the board. 11 offensive rebounds for College of Idaho, just 3 for Oregon Tech. Peoples, quick fire 3. He got it! Osborne. Oh, man, just threw it up and it crawled over the front iron. Timeout called by Oregon Tech. Dougie Peoples has 9 points on 3 threes, and those are some of probably the 3 clutchest threes he has hit in his young career. We'll take a break. Be right back. 66-62 Yotes, 6:17 to go. That's the women's 3 as well. They changed it this year. Why you got 2 nights? 6 minutes and 17 seconds remain to decide the fate of 2 teams, both likely headed to the dance. The Yotes have a number 1 seed in the national tournament on the line. They will host the first 2 rounds no matter what, given their season. But this could change things in terms of whether they're a 1 or a 2 on selection day. Peoples. Reverse pivots to Handren. Wyman, the only starter in the game. Handren's 3 ball, no. Brought down Osborne. Osborne, dead leg, then attacks the rim. What a heady move. And Osborne is keeping a close eye on Dougie Peoples. He knows what he can do from beyond the arc. They also know what Drew Wyman can do from all 3 levels. Offensive board, Rogers. Peoples calling for it. Just short. Handren, the offensive board, missed the bunny. Oh, he missed the putback. He was right there and wide open. All alone. 66-64. 5 minutes left. Shivers, 3. Fouled by Wilson. He undercut him when he was landing. Cardinal sin of basketball, fouling a jump shooter, let alone a 3-point jump shooter. Shivers knocks in the first and a chance to tie it up. And knocks it in to tie. Remaining 4 starters back into the game for the College of Idaho. Johnny Radford, Simon J. Morgan, Jake O'Neill, and Tyler Robinette. And Shivers goes 3 for 3 to give the Oregon Tech Owls a 1-point lead. Shivers up to 13 points, just behind Cam Osborne's 17. Morgan on the drive, kicks back to O'Neill, gets through 2, and then fouled hard on the baseline. Oh, and the officials are going to check this. They're going to go see if this is a flagrant foul. Now, here's an interesting tidbit for you. Oregon Tech I've mentioned earlier, this broadcast has really, all season long, they have prided themselves on their toughness. However, in each of the last 2 games, they have been assessed a flagrant 2 foul. That is cause for ejection and a 1-game suspension. The reason you're not seeing a suspension is because both times this coaching staff has appealed those flagrant 2 calls and suspensions, and they have been awarded. So Oregon Tech is playing with a full roster in both the semifinals and now the finals, when they probably should have been without a player in each game. So this could be a very interesting call if the officials choose to do anything further than what was called on the floor as a common foul. Colby Blaine threw both fists up in an X above his head in signal of a flagrant foul. And this could be a real game changer. A flagrant foul is 2 free throws and the ball. Not only would Jake O'Neal have 2 free throws coming, it would be 2 more free throws and then possession. That would be a huge swing in a game that has under 5 minutes to go and is just a 1-point lead for the visiting Cinderella Oregon Tech Owls. All right, we ourselves will not get an explanation. We will try to read lips, body language, and see what they go with. They say common foul. They will keep it as a common foul. And I know Colby Blaine is trying to do everything he can to show the officials that this team is playing hard. Two shots coming for Jake O'Neal. And O'Neal misses on the first. He has not proven much at the free throw line this year, just shooting 67%. 0 for 2. Rebound brought down. There's Eric Frazier on the rebound. Now James Guerra, ball in his hands. Little triangle action. They finally get it inside to Bowman, and he walked. Morgan leads the Yotes with 13 points, but haven't said his name much recently. Plays catch with O'Neal, past the perimeter, takes a screen from Robinette, gets the switch that he wants. Bowman losing a half step, show and go a couple times, kicks out to Wyman, 8 on the shot clock. O'Neal backing down Shivers, fall away on the baseline, and rattles in! What a bucket! Osborne backtracks out to the logo left wing. Entry past Bowman. Robinette giving space. Bowman closes. Baby hook over the top. O'Neal rebound. Blaine calling out instructions from a kneeling position at the bench. O'Neal tipped that up and over the back of Jamison Guerra. That was pretty clear, to say the least. That's the 6th team foul of the half. 3rd personal on Jake O'Neal. Next foul on the Yotes will put the Owls in the single bonus. 68-67. Yotes up by 1. 3 minutes left. Frazier into the corner. Guerra kicks back. Osborne's three, banks in from the wing. Yotes want to go fast and answer. Radford fires and hits! Crowds on their feet. Osborne double teamed. Shivers. No call. Shivers mid-range good. Wyman has a high-low if he wants it. Couldn't hold on to the seal. O'Neal for three. Just off the heel. Oregon Tech will slow it down. 20 points for Cam Osborne. Huge possession. Guerra. Osborne into the paint, elevates, finishes with the left, 3-point lead. Just can't give him that much space. Boy, he had a free lane to attack. Robinette never closed up the space in worry that he would do exactly that and just blow past him. It's probably better. I know that Cam Osborne is a good free throw shooter, but you're in the 1-and-1 territory. It might even be better to, if you have a clear lane, just try to go for the ball. And don't foul excessively, but foul it hard so they don't have a chance of making the layup and counting the foul. This game has had everything. Back and forth runs, clutch shots, freshman performances, and veteran defense. It has been a chess match between two of the best coaches in this Cascade Collegiate Conference. "89 seconds of gameplay, that is. Certainly this one could get drawn out. Both teams in the single bonus at the moment. Or at least next foul credited to the Yotes will put the Owls on the free throw line for 1-and-1s. Morgan will let it roll for a couple bounces and start the clock. Takes a screen from O'Neal. Kicks back Wyman. Oh, O'Neal just blew the wide open layup. It was a perfectly drawn up UCLA cut, and O'Neal thought there was too much contest. Now they need a stop. Guerra taking his time. Halfway through the shot clock, finally sets the motion of the offense. They curl Shivers. Kicks it back out, Guerra. Calls for a screen from Bowman. Guerra gets double teamed. Nowhere to go. Finally finds Osborne, who has to throw it up, and a foul is called on Jake O'Neal. Oh, a foul was called on Jake O'Neal on his contest of the three-point shot. And instead of that 17th foul being a 1-and-1, it's now 3 free throws for one of the top scorers in the conference. Clank. Student section chanting 0 for 1. Osborne hits the second, and Oregon Tech will call a timeout to talk over the remaining 50 seconds and change. Cam Osborne has 23 points and a chance to add one more when we come out of this timeout. The Yotes had Jake O'Neal, probably the most secure player on the roster, miss a bunny layup on a perfectly drawn up possession, and then Jake O'Neal gets called for a questionable foul on a three-point shooter. That was Jake O'Neal's fourth personal foul. I mean, if I can give you 3 words to describe this game, welcome to March. The atmosphere in this building has been all but thwarted by a combination of missed open opportunities, officiating, and Oregon Tech flat out competing. Cam Osborne, his third and final free throw on the trip, up and good. It's a 5-point lead for the Owls. Radford gets pushed by Keegan Shivers. Oh, goodness. Shivers picks up his third personal. Johnny Radford, the best foul shooter in the conference, will have 2 free throws. Or rather a 1-and-1 because it was on the ground. The pass from Morgan was a little out ahead of Radford on the cut. And apparently he was shoved to the floor by Keegan Shivers. The question is, if you trail by 3, there's 40.4 on the clock, and a shot clock is 30 seconds. Can you afford to play out a full possession? Radford hits them both. And I think the conversation, exactly that conversation, will be had amongst the coaching staff of the College of Idaho. Wow. So Colby Blaine and his staff, Manny Morgan, Jacob McLeod, and Chris Coots will talk this one over. Colby Blaine enters the huddle and checks Stratton Rogers into the game for defensive purposes. Oh, never mind. They're going to call off the substitution for Stratton Rogers. So they're going to stick with the starting 5 on the floor. Okay, they are going back to Stratton Rogers for Johnny Radford. So you're taking the best foul shooter on the team off the floor. You are keeping Jake O'Neal on the floor with his 4 personal fouls in a situation where you will likely need to foul. For those who say NAIA basketball is checkers, we've got 2 grand masters of chess on these 2 sidelines. And 2 teams that can flat out play. Three-point lead for Oregon Tech. They got to go the length of the floor. They inbound to Guerra, quick double team. Jake O'Neal moves from his spot. Guerra gets it across the timeline, then hounded by Samaje Morgan. Will backtrack. They will play out the possession. They're going to call for some traps as soon as there's some action on ball. 15 seconds on the shot clock, about a 10-second difference. Guerra comes to collect at the logo. 8 seconds. Double team. Kicks to Osborne. Shivers for 3. Dagger. Absolute dagger by Keegan Shivers. (79-73) with 11 seconds. Peoples and Radford check into the game for three-point shooting, and some of the Yotes fans are already starting to pack up. The Yotes faithful, the season ticket holders, are leaving early in the conference championship game. What does that say to your team? What does that say to the 5 men on the floor? How are they supposed to believe? Wow. You got to hand it to Oregon Tech. They have completely responded. They came in as the 3 seed in this tournament and were given zero chance. Not a single team was given any sort of chance against the College of Idaho, especially since this tournament ran through the J.A. Albertson Activities Center. They have added another second to the clock. 12.1 seconds now stand. Oh, and the clock just ran. Oh, they're all over the place. Alrighty. Yotes have to go the length of the floor a couple times. And you have to hit a 3. Radford and Peoples are in the deep corners on the other side of the floor that you cannot see at the moment. Wyman to inbound. To half court with Robinette. Timeout. Colby Blaine uses his final one. About 2 seconds came off the clock. 10.2 will remain. Are the officials going to look at it again? The officials are going to look at it again to make sure they have the right time on the clock. And why wouldn't you? It's a full timeout. Final timeout of the game. Caden Handren goes into the game for Tyler Robinette. This is interesting. You've got sharpshooters in Drew Wyman, Dougie Peoples, and Johnny Radford around the 2 top assisters for the Yotes and Samaje Morgan and Caden Handren. The smallest lineup you will probably ever see the Yotes throw out there. Oregon Tech has shown up at the face of adversity, at the face of disrespect, and proved that they are a tournament team. They lost twice to Lewis Clark State during the regular season, beat them in the semis. They lost twice to College of Idaho in the regular season. We'll finish that sentence in about 10 seconds of gameplay. And with the officials still looking over the clock situation, they will keep Oregon Tech in their huddle. Colby Blaine taking his time, describing exactly what needs to happen for these Yotes. Regardless of what happens here tonight, the Yotes will host the first and second rounds of the NAIA National Championship Tournament. They will inbound from right in front of their bench. Half a second was added. 4/10 rather. Wyman will inbound. Oh, Shivers deflected it. Wyman didn't establish. So those 6/10 came off the clock, so it's 10 seconds even. Oh, what a job by Shivers. All he had to do was just jump up and deflect. And now the Yotes need a quick turnover. O'Neal and Rogers back into the game. Oregon Tech gets it into Shivers. Shivers throws Wyman to the floor. And Wyman was already heading in that direction, so nothing additional called. A second came off the clock. And now Shivers will go to the free throw line. He already hit the three that put him up by 6. And pretty much took the Yotes out of this ball game as there were 40 seconds on the game clock. Fresh shot clock of 30. Yotes decided to play it out defensively. And late in the shot clock, Keegan Shivers buried a 3. Misses the front. Kick up ahead Wyman. Wyman has to chuck his 3 ball off the front iron. Put back is good by O'Neal. And 2.5 seconds. Just throw this one long, deflected. Goes to O'Neal. He's fouled. Can't hit it. Wow, that would have been very interesting. Man, if he could have hit. I won't even go there. So here's where it is. 8/10 on the clock. They're down by 4. O'Neal needs to hit the first, miss the second. There are no timeouts, so they can't talk over this. Keegan Shivers just fouled out of the game. So they're putting in Cody Bowman for rebounding purposes because they know that O'Neal is going to miss this second free throw. Colby Blaine needs to put his shooters into the game. He's got to put Radford and Peoples back in. And I hope he does after. I think he's waiting to see. He's waiting to see. O'Neal misses the first, and that does it. Makes the second, down by 3, just throw it the length of the floor. Bowman there to collect and run it out. Oregon Tech shocks the Northwest. The Owls from a 3 seed to win the tournament. The first team since 2013 to win this conference since 2017. The first team other than the College of Idaho to win the Cascade Collegiate Conference Tournament. Yotes still have a lot of postseason ahead of them. Their 23-game win streak snapped. Their 21-game conference tournament win streak snapped. Their 11-game postseason win streak snapped at the hands of the Oregon Tech Owls. What a game start to finish for the 3 seed Owls. They go on the road in the semis and the championship and pull off shockers against LC State and C of I. Still more to be played in the J.A. Albertson Activities Center. The Yotes will host the first and second rounds of the national tournament. The draw to be set at the end of the week. Next weekend, games will be played. For everyone here, Danny Campbell, the SID, rest of the staff here at College of Idaho, we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next weekend for NCAA tournament. I'm Tyler Lundquist. Have a good night.